Okay, so we just got to the Tesla Service Center. It is a big day today. What are we doing?
Well, it has been...
It's not a delivery today.
No, but it has been nearly 1,200 days since we took delivery of this Model S 100D.
Yep.
With Autopilot 2 and full self-driving was purchased.
Yep, purchased with the car before delivery even.
Yes.
So it was configured with that.
Over
But it has
1,200
been
days ago.
over 1,200 days without the full self-driving computer or any of that. And tomorrow actually, because we're dropping it off the day before, it is gonna change. So not only are we finally getting that full self-driving computer, but you splurged for a little something.
We are getting the MCU upgrade. So I'm gonna be upgrading this 2017 Model S 100D from MCU1 to the newer MCU2, which came out in 2018.
Which is gonna be a lot faster, a lot snappier. It'll actually give you the visualizations. If you upgrade to full self-driving, but without the new MCU, it'll still see them, but you just won't see them on your screen. So at least we'll get that.
But it should...
There's a lot of good stuff we're getting, but we are going to have to sacrifice some things.
Yes, basically we will be losing the radio tuner, so we'll no longer have AM, FM, or XM radio.
Which is kind of a bummer, but there is one thing that you mentioned, maybe Elon or anyone at Tesla, if you're watching, could add to the internet radio section.
Yeah, so basically for a lot of radio stations, they are still available via TuneIn.
Yeah.
And just go into the TuneIn section on media. Unfortunately, the station that I've listened to for like the last 20 years,
yeah,
a few years ago, they moved to like radio.com.
Yeah.
That's not available via the car.
At least not yet.
Not yet.
So maybe if you're listening, try to add radio.com. That would be super, super awesome. Or iHeartRadio or anything of those,
but, you know, offer a few more streaming options if you're going to take away our radio tuner. So the cool thing though is we're going to be getting a faster browser, faster MCU, faster, you know, media control unit overall.
It's
just, you know, snappier, changing, loading of the maps, switching to the satellite view. We're going to get like the Tesla theater, so we'll be able to see like YouTube or Netflix,
Twitch,
all those when at a supercharger or whatever. All the new games. Probably going to be some more, well, there's a few Easter eggs and stuff too, like tracks and karaoke. So just all kinds of new features. And you know, some people might be, I don't care about all of these features, but I do, because basically for paying this one fee of $2,500, it's going to bring my 2017 car up to be the equivalent of a brand new like 2020 Model S. The other alternative, as Eric mentioned, is to trade this car in, get a brand new Model S, which would be amazing, 2020. But the major changes would be
the air suspension,
improved air suspension, increased range. That's about it.
You'd also lose the amazing sunroof, which we absolutely always love. We were just talking about it in the live stream yesterday.
Also the carbon fiber on a non-performance model.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like, and also just the color, you know, some of the seats have changed. They don't offer these seats anymore. So, you know, I don't want to give up all of that.
I know, you would lose your
adjustable headrests.
So yeah, there's actually a lot that you would lose now that I'm thinking about it.
And so it's like, you know, I would get a few new features, but it's like, they're not worth like $40,000.
Agreed.
So I'm happy to just upgrade the computer. And a lot of people upgrade their cell phone every year. They upgrade their laptop or their home computer. So to wait 3 years to upgrade the computer in my car and then to upgrade it for $2,500 is not bad.
We are going to drop this off. We have to go fill out the paperwork for the drop box. And we took some before footage, we will take some after footage, and we will pick back up on this video when we pick up the new Model S. Can we call it new? We can call it new.
You know, should we swap out and put the dual motor badge?
Oh.
No, probably not. We're still a Model S 100D. It's just going to be,
I don't know,
upgraded MCU.
Good question. Comment down below if we should do that. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and fill all that out, drop it off, and see you guys hopefully in about a day or so. So I guess the big question is it worth it? Apparently it is, because he loves fart mode so much.
I mean, I had that on MCU1, but it sounds just as good on MCU2.
Maybe even better with the new audio.
Yeah, the audio does sound a lot better. I don't know if we've chatted about that already, but the immersive sound has replaced like the Dolby surround sound. And the bass, I didn't touch anything in the equalizer, but it just sounds really impressive. Especially when we were on the supercharger yesterday and we were watching some YouTube videos or putting in the Netflix and watching some trailers. That surround sound is just amazing.
The hardest part of becoming independent is leaving home. The Emperor Penguin chicks are about to take the biggest step in their young lives.
We'll give you a little sneak peek of that. Don't want to do too much and get copywritten. But I am actually looking on the camera and it does look to be some refresh issues on there. Rest assured, from what I'm seeing, there's no lines or anything like that. That's just coming across on the camera.
So one other cool feature that we got as part of the MCU2 upgrade is now we have the dash cam and Sentry mode. And as part of that, we have the dash cam viewer. And it's really cool because you can pull up and see your dash cam clips directly on your MCU. You don't have to download them to your phone or pop out your USB card and view it.
And in here though, we did notice some things. They did not replace the cameras on this car. So the rear camera, while it is in full color, the side repeaters and the front camera, I believe are everything but red, basically.
Yes, well, it has
or blue.
It's RCCC, and so
it looks a little off color-wise. Now, is that something we could potentially fix? We will let you know in a future video once parts arrive. But for now, it's just something that we're gonna live with. It's really not that big of a deal. At least you still have that functionality. Yeah. It would be nice if we could somehow upgrade those for a reasonable price. But all in, it is nice that we do have all that. We still do have the 4K black view in this car. We're gonna be keeping it in this car. It's already wired and everything. There's really no reason to get rid of it. But at least now we do have the side cameras, and that's something that the black view doesn't have.
So basically with the MCU2 now, we are getting a browser score of 474 out of 555, which is a lot higher than what the MCU1 browser was.
And we have a lot more video here.
And audio. Supported, yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool. Do we have anything red? Because there was some, oh, there's the yellow. What is that? Output. Okay, yeah, lack thereof.
Can't do web notification, which makes sense. You can't get a notification.
Web applications. So we have no application cache or service workers or custom content handlers. And then like peer-to-peer.
Oh, and there we go, payment. Well, okay.
No payment.
But it's still pretty good overall. Way better than the MCU1 browser was.
Definitely.
With that being said though, we still did see an error.
A bug.
When I went to the web browser yesterday, tried going to TikTok. And this is basically a problem where the browser pops open a pop-up window and you can't get out of it. So basically, I was here and then I tried to choose Watch Now. And when I tried to log in, and while I was originally trying to do login with Google, somehow I accidentally clicked login with Apple. And it popped open this dialog box. And I don't have an Apple ID. Maybe I clicked here. Okay, yeah, there we go. I don't have Apple credentials, so I tried clicking on the Apple up at the top of the screen, and it brings up the Apple...
Thinking it would be an X to close.
Yeah, because there was no X on the right, so I just tried clicking there, and it brings up the Apple website inside of a dialog box, and it keeps doing that, but you can't. So now I have this dialog, and I can't get back out of it.
And even when you go to a new website...
so you try to go other sites, and you still have this dialog. Yeah.
That's on every single website. So when we go up here and just go to like Google...
Yeah, or try to go to a better route planner. Guess what? You
still have that dialog box.
Can't get rid of it. Yeah, because there's no X here. And so it blocks when we were trying to see other stuff on the webpage, like that browser test we were just doing, and it's blocked by the dialog. So basically there's no way to close dialogues.
And it's weird is we were able to still scroll.
Yeah, you can see
the page is loading. I'm still scrolling.
And you can zoom in on the background.
But that dialog box blocks everything, and the only way we could get rid of it is to do a double scroll.
Yeah, so we had to hold in the wheels.
And then wait a few minutes.
Okay, so now, when reboot, the dialog's gone, and you can use the web page.
But definitely a bug, because there's no X.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to use a browser if you have a dialog blocking the entire browser window.
Yeah, but the nice thing is you can still do the double scroll wheel reset. Just a pain in the butt to have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall, though, the screen is much, much snappier and so much faster to load. So really happy with all of that. So yes, while $2,500 is expensive, it's definitely worth doing that rather than buying a whole brand new car.
If you're a current owner of an older Tesla, this is a way
or
that
if you're considering buying an older Tesla, but want that new functionality and don't want to pay a new price, you can buy an older Tesla for a heck of a price and pay $2,500 and get all this, and it's like a brand new car.
Yeah, so basically you could buy a car, say an Autopilot 2 car from late 2016 or newer, 2017, 2018, Autopilot 2.5, and if the car doesn't already have this MCU2 in it, you can pay the $2,500 to Tesla. They will install it for you, and it basically brings the car up to almost the same functionality as a 2020 car. It's not going to give you the brand new Raven air suspension or, you know, the up to almost 400-mile range, but for $2,500, you're going to have a brand new computer, brand new instrument cluster in the Model S and Model X, and it's like a new car.
Yeah,
but you're
and the nice
thing
is
tens of thousands of dollars over buying a 2020 car.
And you could still potentially get the sunroof in an older car that you can't in a new car. So there's some things that you could actually benefit from buying an older car and doing this MCU upgrade than buying a brand new one. So a lot of cool things to think about, because older cars, I say older, but we're talking like a year or 3 years old, they'll save you a lot of money over a brand new one.
Yeah, because 2017, 2016 cars, they're probably selling like, what, $50,000 range, you know, depending what the options are.
Yeah.
Versus a brand new one, which is going to be like $85,000, $90,000.
Yeah.
By buying an older car, adding a $2,500 option, it almost gives you the same car.
Yeah, so definitely overall, we're getting it 4 thumbs up. I would do more if I had more. It definitely is probably one of the best things we have bought from Tesla, and really it makes it feel like a brand new 2020 car.
And the cool thing too is we got it done at the same time as the Autopilot 3 hardware upgrade, so just driving home from the service center that day, I instantly saw all the stoplight, stop sign visualizations, saw all the people, saw cones, I saw trash cans, everything started showing up, and my car started stopping at stoplights and stop signs. And that's something, the functionality that was not available just a couple days earlier.
Definitely comment down below, are you an owner of an older S or X that are interested in doing this? Is $2,500 something you would consider? We ran the numbers, and for us to trade in the car and buy a new one, we would have to pay out of pocket about $30,000.
At least, yeah.
At least. And whereas doing this, we paid $2,500 and basically get that same interior experience. So in our books, it's definitely worth it. Comment down below, is this something that you would consider, something that you did, or something that you're waiting to hear back from Tesla when your car VIN becomes available? Would love to hear everyone's opinion on that. As always though, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you are looking at accessorizing your Model S, X, 3, or now Model Y, definitely check them out. All linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. So for Model 3 and Model Y, my must-have accessories are definitely going to be a center console wrap just to help protect that piano gloss black material, as well as a matte screen protector. Now here in this S, we are going to be reapplying a new matte screen protector. We had one in here already, but unfortunately,
yeah, they removed the entire screen.
You get a new screen and everything. Yeah. So we need to put that back on, because as you saw, this fingerprints on this thing are already atrocious. So definitely look into something like that if you would like to help protect your car and reduce glare as well as fingerprints. Those screen protectors really come in clutch. We have them on every single car. As always though, a thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Go and click here to subscribe, here for some other ones, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.